Let's be real for a second. You've probably felt it. That morning fog that's a little harder to shake off. That stubborn bit of fat around the middle that just won't budge. Or maybe just a general feeling that your old drive and energy have packed their bags. Now, we're all quick to blame it on getting older, right? But what if it's not just the calendar? What if the real enemies of your hormones are hiding in plain sight right in your kitchen? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on 5 common culprits that science says could be quietly wrecking your health.
So, we have to ask the question, is your diet secretly working against you? We're about to dive into the hard science behind how certain things in our modern diet can literally put the brakes on testosterone. We're going to break down 5 specific things. And I'll tell you right now, number 5 is a real curveball. It isn't even a food, but you're almost certainly consuming it every single day.
You see these words on the screen? They're not just feelings, they are symptoms. And it's so easy to just say, well, I'm over 40 now, this is just how it is. But what the science is telling us is, maybe not. It's suggesting that what we're putting into our bodies could be hitting the fast-forward button on this decline, way beyond what's natural.
Okay, before we just jump into a list of don't eat this, we really need to understand the why behind it all. Why does testosterone even matter so much, and what's actually happening on a biological level when it starts to tank?
Most people hear testosterone and their mind immediately goes to one thing, libido. But look at this, it is so much more than that. It's the master hormone for building muscle, for keeping your bones strong, for telling your body where to store fat. It even plays a huge role in your heart health and, yep, your mood. So keeping your levels in a healthy range isn't just about feeling frisky, it's foundational to your entire well-being.
Now here's a term you need to know, because it's the common thread that's going to connect almost everything we talk about today. Endocrine disruptors. Think of these as chemical imposters. They're chemicals that get into your body and just wreak havoc on your hormonal signaling system. They can mimic your hormones, they can block them. Basically, they throw a wrench into a system that needs to be perfectly balanced.
All right, enough background, let's get to the list. We're starting with 4 specific things that you can probably find in your kitchen right now, and they might be doing a lot more harm than good. Let's kick things off with our first and probably most controversial one. First up on our list, soy. Man, this one is a huge debate, especially in the health and fitness world. We're talking about things like tofu, edamame, and most importantly, the soy protein isolate that gets packed into countless processed foods, protein bars, and shakes.
So here's the science in a nutshell. Soy is loaded with these compounds called phytoestrogens. Phyto just means plant, so they're plant estrogens. And the problem is, their chemical structure looks eerily similar to human estrogen. So similar, in fact, that they can actually dock onto your body's estrogen receptors. Now let's be clear, the research is nuanced here. Having a bowl of edamame once in a while, probably not going to move the needle. The real concern is for people who have a very high, very consistent intake, especially from those highly processed soy protein isolates. If you're a guy trying to optimize your hormones, it's definitely something you want to be aware of.
All right, culprit number 2. This is the one a lot of us really don't want to hear. Alcohol. From a biological standpoint, it's pretty much a direct toxin to testosterone production, and it gets you in a couple of really sneaky ways. The main problem is something called the aromatase effect. You see, heavy drinking cranks up the activity of an enzyme in your body called aromatase, and you can think of this enzyme as a little conversion factory, a factory with a terrible purpose. It literally grabs your testosterone molecules and chemically transforms them into estrogen. So not only are you losing testosterone, you're gaining estrogen. And on top of that, alcohol absolutely destroys your sleep quality, which just happens to be the time when your body produces the most testosterone. It's a double whammy. Okay, get ready for a surprise. Number 3 is licorice root. Now, you might be thinking, I haven't eaten licorice candy in 20 years, but hold on. This stuff is an incredibly common ingredient in herbal teas, especially those digestive or sleepy time blends, and even some health supplements. This is not just a theory. The main compound in licorice directly interferes with a key enzyme your body needs to produce testosterone. And get this, a study took healthy men, had them consume just 7 grams of licorice a day, and saw their total testosterone plummet by 26% after only 1 week. That is a staggering drop. So yeah, you're gonna want to start reading the labels on your tea boxes.
Moving on to number 4, industrial seed oils and trans fats. We're talking about the soybean oil, the corn oil, the canola oil, the cottonseed oil, the stuff that is in practically every single processed food on the shelf, from potato chips to salad dressings to most things you'd get at a fast food joint.
So here's the crucial thing to understand.
Your body literally builds hormones out of cholesterol, which it gets from healthy fats. Things like whole eggs, avocados, olive oil, a good steak. Those provide the essential building blocks. But these heavily processed industrial fats, they do the exact opposite. They drive massive amounts of inflammation and oxidative stress in your body. And when your body is constantly in a state of alarm, fighting off inflammation, it shuts down non-essential processes, like robust hormone production, to focus on just surviving.
And that brings us to our final culprit. As I mentioned at the start, number 5 isn't something you actively choose to eat. It's more of an invisible ingredient that finds its way into our bodies every single day. The 5th major testosterone killer we're talking about today is plastic. Yep, plastic. Specifically, the chemicals that leach out of plastic containers and bottles directly into the food and water we consume.
Chemicals with names like BPA and phthalates are what we call xenoestrogens. Just like the slide says, xeno simply means foreign. So these are, quite literally, foreign estrogens. They're chemical imposters. They mimic the structure of our own estrogen so perfectly that they can lock onto your body's estrogen receptors, and your brain gets completely fooled. Your brain sees all this activity and thinks, whoa, estrogen levels are sky high. We need to shut things down. And in response, it sends a signal to slam the brakes on your own natural testosterone production.
Now, the good news here is that you can dramatically cut your exposure with a few really simple changes. First, and this is non-negotiable, never ever microwave your food in a plastic container. Heat causes these chemicals to leach out like crazy. Switch to glass or ceramic containers for storing your food, especially if it's hot or oily. And please, make the switch from disposable plastic water bottles to a good stainless steel or glass one. These simple habits make a huge difference.
See, getting older doesn't have to mean just accepting feeling weaker or more tired. The first, most powerful step is simply understanding what these hidden disruptors are, so you can start taking back control of your own biochemistry. So let's just do a quick recap of the 5 big ones we covered. Number 1, be mindful of high-processed soy intake. Number 2, limit your alcohol. Number 3, check your tea and supplement labels for that hidden licorice root. Number 4, swap out those inflammatory industrial oils for real healthy fats. And finally, number 5, do everything you can to get plastic out of your kitchen. It really is this simple. When you stop putting the wrong chemicals in, your body can finally get back to doing what it was always designed to do. At the end of the day, your body is the most complex chemistry lab on the planet. And every single choice you make, every meal, every drink is an input. It's a new ingredient you're adding to the experiment. So the question isn't whether your hormones will change, it's what direction are you going to steer them in? What results are you going to create?
If you found this scientific breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button so YouTube knows to share this with more men who need to hear it. And subscribe for next week's video where we cover the top 5 foods to boost your testosterone naturally. Thanks for watching.